Now, there's more fallout over Andrew Windsor. Now, there are reports that Princess Eugenie has cut off all ties with her father, and it's understood that Andrew will be leaving Royal Lodge before the end of January, not long.
Before we go further, subscribe to FameX right now and drop a comment because this story is getting serious. The hard truth is this: Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor may not be quietly settling into a small home on the Sandringham estate after all. Several royal experts now suggest he could be sent thousands of miles away to a Middle Eastern island that already shelters another disgraced royal, Bahrain. Now, here's something viewers should pay attention to, and comment below if you agree so far. We have heard talk before about Andrew relocating to the Middle East. This is not the first time his name has been connected to Bahrain or nearby regions. However, what feels new this time is the way these reports are being discussed. It is no longer presented as a distant idea or an emergency backup plan. More and more, it sounds less like a question of if and more like when. So stay with FameX and subscribe for what comes next.
Give him a last chance to stay in that royal lodge where he's been paying this peppercorn rent, as we explained last year. Princess Eugenie, she's had no contact with Andrew. She's furious, apparently, about his lack of apology and the whole Epstein scandal.
That change in direction is very clear right now, so make sure you're subscribed to FameX before continuing. Royal biographer Andrew Lai says Andrew is expected to choose a place that is hot, peaceful, and far from media attention. Lai has openly stated that if this move happens, the public should not expect full honesty. In his words, "We are not likely to hear the complete truth, so share your thoughts in the comments." That makes sense because Andrew's biggest issue at the moment is being seen in public. After being pushed out of Royal Lodge, the 30-room Windsor home he lived in for over 20 years, his choices have quickly disappeared. Reports suggest the king made it clear the setup could not go on, mainly due to high costs, security demands, and non-stop attention around the estate. Officially, the story remains that Andrew will move into a smaller home on the Sandringham estate. But for more royal updates, like, comment, and subscribe to FameX.
It's unclear whether Andrew and Eugenie spoke during the christening, but you might recall that Andrew and Prince William didn't speak at the Princess, at the Duchess of Kent's funeral. They felt very, very uncomfortable there.
Marsh Farm is being mentioned most often as the likely place he would move to. It is countryside-based, out of sight, and far smaller than anything royal standards are used to. But this is where reality seems to hit hard. This week, Andrew was reportedly spotted visiting the Sandringham property for the very first time. By most accounts, that visit would have been a wake-up call. The grand halls, the status, and the long-term comfort of Royal Lodge are gone. What is left is separation, a reduced lifestyle, and a clear reminder of how much his position has dropped. There have also been claims of pest problems linked to the property.
Massive family drama. It certainly exploded this week. The Beckham drama. Of course, Brooklyn Beckham issuing a blistering statement accusing his parents of being controlling, saying that their behaviour has been controlling and it's caused problems.
At first glance, that detail may sound minor, but here it carries weight. For someone like Andrew, who has lived his whole life shielded from daily hassle, drop a comment if you agree. The thought of moving into a home needing repairs, constant maintenance, and some real discomfort could be hard to accept. It sends another message that this is not an easy or pleasant long-term answer. Several royal watchers have openly doubted whether Andrew could ever feel settled there. Robert Jobson has said he simply cannot imagine Andrew spending the rest of his life on a remote farm. A place largely cut off from attention, without any public role, and with very little recognition.
Mistakes. Children are allowed to make mistakes. That's how they learn. So that's what I try to teach my kids. But you have to sometimes let them make those mistakes as well.
And that brings the focus back to Bahrain. So hit subscribe and share your thoughts below. Andrew is not unfamiliar with the Middle East at all. While serving as a trade envoy, he built strong connections there, especially in Bahrain. In that region, he was shown respect and formality, not treated as a disgraced figure. He was still seen as the second son of Queen Elizabeth. Jobson has also highlighted an interesting coincidence in timing. King Charles recently held a meeting with the King of Bahrain. No one claims Andrew was officially discussed, but in royal circles, such overlaps are rarely dismissed. As Jobson put it, nothing is certain, but Bahrain is a place where Andrew could still receive status instead of quiet shame. There is also a clear example to follow. Juan Carlos I has lived in the Middle East since 2020, after financial scandals made staying in Europe impossible.
Andrew, what do you make of David's words there?
What do I make of it? The Beckham's battle. Beck's lies and videotapes, as the Sun screams today. It's basically, and what happened? This explosive Instagram run.
He could settle in Abu Dhabi, far from courtrooms and cameras, yet close to trusted contacts and deep financial support. Andrew would not be doing anything new or risky. He would simply be following a path that has already been proven to work. Then there is the issue of money. Andrew's finances have been under pressure for a long time. He no longer receives the same level of royal funding as before. Security costs remain a constant argument. Legal fees from past settlements have added serious strain, and his lifestyle has never truly adjusted to his reduced position. Sarah Ferguson is still closely connected to him, both emotionally and financially. Despite their divorce, and even recent reports of fresh tension, their lives remain deeply linked. Looney has raised sharp questions about how the two plan to fund their future. Last year, Ferguson sold a luxury townhouse in Belgravia. Reports estimate the sale at around $4 million. Looney has openly questioned where that money ended up. Was it passed on to Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie? Or has it instead been used to cover Andrew and Sarah's ongoing expenses?
Brooklyn, who's married to model and heiress Nicola Peltz, 31, got married in April 2022. He claims, as you say, my parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship since before my wedding, and it hasn't stopped. He claims that Victoria cancelled making Nicola's dress and hijacked.
Ferguson herself remains a complex piece of the puzzle, so make sure you're subscribed to FameX. She lost the official use of her title when Andrew was stripped of his remaining honors. Still, her public image has long depended on that association. Her links to Jeffrey Epstein, including financial support and visits to New York, continue to follow her closely. Any future plan for Andrew must also consider her role, her finances, and her needs. Bahrain offers something Sandringham simply does not: privacy without loneliness, comfort without constant reminders of disgrace, and a place where Andrew would not be the only royal living quietly abroad. Looney has also made another bold claim. He believes Andrew has received private assurances that, when Prince William eventually becomes king, Andrew will not be publicly torn down again. William is widely reported to despise his uncle, and many royal journalists have said so openly. Yet Looney suggests there may be quiet promises behind closed doors, promises that Andrew will be allowed to fade from view instead of being dragged back into headlines. Moving overseas would make that far easier. According to Looney, Andrew hates the idea of staying on the Sandringham estate. He wants distance. He wants a place that does not constantly remind him of everything he has lost. Bahrain fits that desire. A warm climate, existing connections, familiar surroundings, less aggressive media, and a fragile sense of dignity restored. Nothing has been officially confirmed. People magazine has contacted Andrew's representatives and received no reply. The palace, as expected, has said nothing. But when several biographers independently reach the same conclusion, it is usually worth paying attention. So the real question is no longer whether Andrew will leave Royal Lodge. That choice has already been made for him. The real issue is how far he is willing to go to escape the consequences of the life he created. Looney believes he will remain until at least February 1st before making his next Middle East move. Is Sandringham just a temporary stop? One final uncomfortable reality check before something permanent overseas? Or is Bahrain already quietly preparing to receive another royal who no longer fits anywhere else? Let me know what you think in the comments, and subscribe to FameX to stay updated on every royal development.